These reports are all different, Laura, and yet after a decade, they're all the same, almost as if the familiarity of the reports is intended to anaesthetise you to the reality.
Well, evening, Mark. I mean, it really is a shocking report. It's a very long report. It's over 202 pages long, and I managed to read quite a bit of it, but admittedly not all of it. And I must, if I may, commend you for how you set up and explain to the viewer exactly what happened to a girl. It wasn't her real name they used, but they called her Sophie in the report. And it's, I think, to bring it home to the viewer, just imagine what that girl suffered. She was only 12 years of age. And as you laid out, you nearly need a crib sheet to understand what happened to her on a single night. And that was being sexually abused in a churchyard, as you said, and then she goes to the police station. And if you're watching this, on your Netflix detective series, most of the time you think, well, when the victim goes to the police station, that's it. Thank God this is over. But actually, that was just the beginning of what is just, you do lose words to describe an absolutely horrific series of events where she was basically raped in the car, raped again somewhere else, and then very kindly they all seemed to release her and pay for various bus fares. And amazingly, she'd be picked up by another person, only for the final unbelievable event where she was raped by at least, I think, 5 men in a house. And remember, if something like this happened in a war, say, if something like that happened, right, soldiers carried out that type of attack on a single person, it would trigger the biggest sort of military, tribunal. It will be considered essentially a crime against humanity for something like that to happen in a single night against such a young girl. And yet this happened, as you said, in Oldham. It was truly shocking, for her to be turned away at the police station. But as I read it, I thought, this can't be a mere coincidence. It was never said in the report, but I don't mind saying it now, that I sense those multiple attacks were coordinated. There is no way something like that could happen, and where she seems to be amazingly picked up, one attack after the other. So I sense that this was essentially, we all know that they involve gangs, they're grooming gangs, they're all linked. They were linked through the nighttime economy, as it was described, through shisha bars and through taxi drivers. And I sense that one incident, which is, as I said, essentially a crime against humanity, was probably coordinated.